That article I sent you, we'll probably need you to read it. Say, hey, African soul niggas, they know we not the same. School pressing pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell, told to the safe. Molested as a kid, you prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took me tough off, my nigga, they ain't free. We live complete in these places of poverty. We on proof in the lock cell, prophecy, gifted and cursed. Killers start killing niggas sitting in church. Black folk for gang women, this shit is absurd. You should never let your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Fuck dying on your knees, you gotta die in glory. Man, I took the U.P.K, told me to order awards. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be recognized. Cops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow we found the truth. Already, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't manage no urban moves. Blood on the leaves, body swing, hook from the noose. I was on a running Nashville when I found the truth. I caught the school, class was being held by the shot on my life. I want to be a gangster like a child. Catholics for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got out this book, my nigga. I can never be no African. U.P.K the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing to give you. That's another religion. If it ain't none of YAHANNA, any murdered vibe, let me gotta hug me out. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. Hell for the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolf and sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, breaking order. Can't let them chip me off the streets. I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ice ages. I got the name changed, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game. Told on black, they said I was going through a phase. As more of us in jail than it was slaves. Told us by the Lord we could never be the same. Soon as they born, the wicked go straight. They left the truth, they wouldn't with us anyway. Niggas quick, they just saying anything to be true. We don't want no cowards anyway. Look, coronavirus, that's a plague. You don't get too much sleep when you waking up the dead. First camp, I cut up all my dreads. I took an oath when that boy hit my head. Niggas capping like they live. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be in bed. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple cats that had to bridge. I got a bridge, I'm very good at work. You wanna serve the Lord? Yeah, in the Christian church. Came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple cats I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord? Yeah, in the Christian church. All right, Most High in Christ. We're here one time. We here again. Let's cap it up real quick. All right. Shalom, Israel. It's the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. This is Officer Nashak Mayatha, coming from Nashville, Tennessee school. About to come with the Thursday night scripture breakdown. As you see in the title, man, what we talking about, when we're going to refer to it, we're going to go to, Job 9:24. We're going to refer to there first, which is where that title comes from. When the scriptures talk about the judges are, let me get there real quick so I can get it correctly. But when it's talking about that, we can see an example of that. One thing we have to understand, especially people that might be tuning in for the first time, or young brothers and sisters that's searching for the truth, or some brothers that's been in the truth that might not understand
when that scripture is saying that what we're talking about is 9:24, and it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and he covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? When it's talking about he covers the faces of the judges thereof, the judges is the judges of this kingdom. You know, whether it's Gentiles, our brothers and sisters that's passing judgment, talking about political leaders, black leaders, you know, whatever you may think of, and white supremacy. Specifically, what we're talking about. Well, let me first break those scriptures, that part down. Those judges covering the faces thereof is covering who you are. Not saying that Christ, that the Christian church portrays as Caesar Borgia. That's covering the faces thereof. The judges covering up the truth. The ones that are supposed to be passing laws and punishment and judgment and leaders are liars. And they're not telling the truth for the Bible. They're not telling the truth for who the true Israelites are. They tell their truth or false truths. What they display is they display a type of narrative or a type of story that we when I say we, I'm talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And here's the correlation. This is the reason why you Israelites out there that's trying to say black people are only Israelites, this is where you're wrong, because it's not about color. You know, the scriptures talk about the speckled bird, meaning that Israelites come in many different shapes and sizes, man. It's not you're caught up in colorism. There's a term called colorism where you look at a person's complexion and you think that's what race a person is. If that's the case, then Africans are our people too. If that's the case, then East Indians are our people too. That's a very simple-minded way of looking at things, sis.
So like you, sir, when you just said for the people who are like other Israelite groups who don't really know, but you're saying like they say like the color, like they think only on color. You say color doesn't matter, but if like a Christian came to you, how would you like battle them when you say color doesn't matter? And they'd be like, so then if color doesn't matter and being an Israelite, then how come white folks ain't Israelites?
And that's a good question. And the specific, and I'm gonna answer that too in saying this. The Israelites that I'm talking about is the ones that's just saying black people, so-called black people, are the true Israelites. Like Judah is the only Israelites. Okay. All right. And how you battle that is you go to scriptures that's talking about seed, the chosen seed, the chosen seed. Every single time you go to the chosen seed, even though the Most High, let's say, okay, technically, when you look in the scriptures, of course, Abraham had, like, I believe, 8 other kids. He had Isaac, he had Ishmael, and other children. Why is it that the story of when you're looking at the genealogy of Israel, meaning you got Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, his sons, and then you get the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Mm-hmm. Why is it that the Lord only specifically talks about that? Why does he stop talking about Ishmael? Why does he stop even in the womb? When you're looking at Rebecca and Isaac, they had 2 children now. Technically, Esau comes from Isaac. Technically, he's our brother. He's closer to us than Hamites are. So why is it that now I'm talking biblically, I'm talking about the Most High. Why isn't it that the Most High, since their birth, you see them talking about Esau, how Esau and Jacob, like when Jacob got the birthright, they kind of split up. Then Jacob was literally on the run from Esau because he wanted to kill him. Then he got into some other things, met up with Esau again, and then he almost embraced him back into his fold to get him back up on his feet when Jacob was on the run. So, because I think he was on the run because one of his sons had killed, was it a Hamite? I can't remember. I think it might have been a Hamite because they raped one of our sisters. So they went and killed them. So then it made them go on the run and all this. There's a story behind that. I'll break that down later. Maybe I'll do that next class. But my point is, why is it that the Lord takes Jacob from that point, doesn't talk about Esau anymore, and he goes into Jacob's sons? And then from Jacob's sons, he starts talking about Christ. And Christ comes from the tribe of Judah. Like, why does the Lord keep doing that? Because the Lord's concern is not about all these other nationalities or races. The Lord's concern, and the proof of that is Deuteronomy 7:6, when it always talks about, let's go there real quick. Deuteronomy 7:6, one of my favorite scriptures, man. I always go there. And when I was a trooper, I used to always go there to kind of remind me. It kept confidence in myself when I was battling the world and things that people kept telling me. When I first came to the truth, I went to Deuteronomy 6 to remind myself who I am. So if you look at Deuteronomy 7:6, Deuteronomy 7:6 says, "For thou art a holy people, a separate people, unto the Lord thy God," capital Lord, the Most High. "The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself," hath chosen us, a particular people, to be close to him, to be the one that he protects, that he looks out for. He might be hard on us because we got to carry out all these laws, right? All these laws in his Bible. Because why? Because he's looking at us like we special. If you're looking at somebody like they special, you want them to go by the book so they don't get what? Messed up somehow because they went against what the rules are. So they can progress, succeed, and do what? Scriptures say, a special people unto them himself, which is the Lord, above all people that are upon the face of the earth, that are above. If we're above all people and we have to live by a certain law and a certain discipline, then that means the Lord wants us to rule. How can we rule being divided or going by our own laws? The Lord had he has so much for us, so many things that he want us to do and succeed and be on top of everybody. But the whole point is, if we're always letting people graft themselves into being an Israelite based on your color, not based on the seed, that's what makes us special. What makes us special is the 12 tribes. If you come from those 12 tribes, you are the Lord's people. People don't want to hear that. Especially our people in the world, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in the world, they don't never talk about East Indians. They'll never talk about Asians. They'll never talk about Russians. They'll never talk about the French. Who do they talk about? They talk about the white person nearest to them. That's what they talk about. They husband, they wife, they good co-worker. They're what they call them at work, it's on these slaves. My work husband, my work wife. That's who they talking about. You're not talking about no Asians in China. You're not talking about all these different people. You're talking to particularly black people, especially, are talking to that one white dude or those white girls that you go kicking it with, and you a sister, and they make you feel like you just one of them until an issue come up. And then what you got to do, you got to sacrifice who the hell you are, and you have to act like them. Because be yourself when George Floyd got killed. Be yourself when Tamir Rice got killed, that little boy that got shot. Within 6 seconds when a cop pulled up and got out the car, killed him because he was playing with a toy gun at the playground. Be yourself when the Proud Boys and all them different militia, anti-American terrorist groups within America, like what's they called, the Bungaloo Boys or something like that. They wear Hawaiian shirts. Man, we know all about y'all. Now, when they all merged together and stormed the Capitol, and your girlfriends at work, sisters, I'm talking to you, sis, not you in the truth, but you, sis, that's in the world that might be watching this video, I'm talking to you. When these women are supposed to be your friend, and these political and racial issues come up, like race theory, and all that. But you gotta sacrifice and compromise who you are to fit in with them. But they never sacrifice or compromise who they are to fit in with you unless it's about a rap song or twerking. That's it. Because in the back of any white supremacist mind, you are, sister, you are nothing but a big ass and a smile. Salakia. But that's what you are. That's it. That white guy that seemed like he loved you so much, he's waiting to tear your tail up. He's waiting to get you drunk, get you high. He's waiting to, what's that? The scripture talk about his words are smooth as butter, but the war is in his heart. That war might not always be so like I'm trying to kill you. That war is just to overcome your mind. That war. So then he can get, if that white man or white sisters, it's like white women, try to get over on a sister or a brother, their whole goal is to get past your mind. If they can conquer your mind, then they can get whatever physically they want from you. That's just the truth. I mean, I'm not lying. I mean, even in the time of slavery, you look in what's that? 1800s. You look in the 1800s. One of the prized things for white women to do, because most of the time, especially down south, their men were going back and forth making deals to get slaves for the plantation, to make deals with crops and different things they're trying to grow, to go to Southern Baptist conventions way back then to organize how they're going to keep power in the South. Now, what were their white women doing at home while they alone or taking care of them kids? While they wanted some ride themselves. You know what they did? They went to our brothers. And they would sit there and let them brothers pound away. And if them brothers, man, I can't imagine. If them brothers, they had to do that and still go home into that little bitty shack where they wife was. And that was a hard thing for that sister to deal with. And that man too, because he doing something he didn't want to do. And if he did that, imagine if he got that woman pregnant. And imagine when that baby came out and the master sitting right there and he see that black baby come out. What's gonna happen now? You got some masters that were so treacherous and evil, they wouldn't just take it out on that brother, they take it out on damn near majority of the slaves because of his rage. That's what you're dealing with, and that's what we can't forget. That's why we have to understand. That's why they cover the faces of the judges thereof. And that's why a lot of our brothers and sisters won't accept that this Bible is just for us. It can't be. We can't be that special. It's what they're saying. When you really look at that, you know what I'm saying? It's really it's a very traumatizing thing to think that there's no way the Lord is just talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And when you look into the mind of a person thinking like that, you start realizing, like, wow, you think you're not that special. There's no way the Lord could just look at you. You know, the crazy part is when you're a Christian, you look at them like that. When the Jewish man said he's the true Jew, you look at him like, oh yeah, that's the true Jew. That's the one the Bible's talking about. But then when you come and see the truth in the I.S.U.P.K, that you're the true Jew, it's like, whoa, there's no way. I twerking women, our niggas in the street, our game bangers, our Uncle Toms, I know good daddies, I ratchet ass baby mamas, our crazy ass children. There's no way we could be the special people. But then we can look at the Ashkenazi and the Khazars that used to live in mountains that stole our identity and convinced the whole world, and America even agreed with them in what is that? In I want to say 19 something, 1950 something. I can't remember the exact dates like it. But when America declared the so-called Jew as the true Jewish man in the land of Israel. That's how messed up we are. All right. But the good thing about it, here's the good thing about it. The scriptures talk about the hidden ones. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the hidden ones, right? But now we are the brothers and sisters that even our people in the world are awake. I say not, I ain't gonna say awake, but the curse is over. The curse that the Lord put on us in Deuteronomy, all the way up through slavery, all the way up to now, that curse is over because of the specific reason that the Lord has lifted that up. Now we have the opportunity to learn the truth. The truth is here if we want to learn, if we want to accept the truth. Now, like the scriptures say, narrow is the path and wide is the gate for the I think wicked. I'm paraphrasing, but meaning that many are called, but few are chosen. So a lot of us are gonna have the opportunity to see all those brothers on the corner, these classes. You're gonna have the opportunity to have the truth given to you. You can't never. We're taking that reason away from you to say that I didn't know. You can't be lukewarm. We taking all that away from you. The Lord has sent priests, prophets, to the earth to tell you what's coming, to break the scriptures down for you, to teach you how to live, to even teach you how to live when things get bad. That's one thing the Christian preacher does not teach you. He don't have no contingency plan if the so-called grid falls. He don't have a contingency plan if um, everything goes awry. You know, they got some saying in America, what's it called when SHF shit hits the fan. Oh. You know, if I'm saying SHF, shit hits the fan. Yeah, they got that little saying. It's like, what's going on, brother? Let's just bring it up. When they got that little saying, all right. Hey, brother, yeah, grab this. Yeah, I honor my promise. But yeah, you gotta take all that out. Yeah, but long story short, I don't mean to veer off, but I think it fits what we're talking about. Long story short, we have to understand that the only answers to things getting bad is the truth. The only way that you're going to be protected in a wicked world is to come to class, understand what these scriptures is talking about, obey the Most High. When you talking to the priests and prophets of the Lord in the I.S.U.P.K, you're in the right place. When you need counsel, this is the place to get it. What these other fake Israelite groups don't tell you is when they get into a jam, they come to us. When we're in here, we are trained to defend ourselves. We're trained to deal with certain situations. This is a lifestyle for us. It's not a game. This is not about money. This is not about fame. This is about survival. This is about how do you obtain a kingdom. All right. So that's what Christians can't understand. Whoever you talk to, they will never understand it. Just don't cast your pearls among swine. Don't try to. Let them know if they got a question. Especially if it's a sister, kind of let her know. If it gets a little above your head, go to your other one, of course. But don't try to make them. If they don't get it, they don't get it. And the reason why they don't get it sometimes, the Lord don't want them. Christ don't want them. All right. And 14. And what we talking about today is Mrs. Davenport. Anybody can tell me who Judge Davenport